Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 40th Commitments of Traders report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. But before we jump to the review, just a reminder for those of you who are new to COT analysis, the Commitments of Traders report here at COTbase.com. We offer a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos that will guide you through the analysis process, how you can benefit from looking at this report week by week. Okay, back to the review and starting off with our first market, which will be the cocoa market, where we have a 32% change in commercials positions. This, of course, based on a 52 weeks look back period. We've got large speculators in the middle and small speculators on the right side. They are represented by green line for large speculators, red line commercials, and the blue on a different scale chart, the small speculators. Of course, we're talking about net positions here. This recent change in traders' positions, as you can see over here, is actually pretty large. It's quite easy to see comparing it to the past 1 year. I would say one of the largest changes, if not the greatest change in the past 1 year. It is a bearish COT change signal coming after a rally that's been going on for 2 weeks now, suggesting we may see the market turn over, and we can expect in the near run at least a little bit of push on the prices downwards. Okay, actually moving forward to the 5 years chart to analyze the COT Extreme, you can see that with this change in traders' positions, we have actually gone closer to a more bearish COT Extreme level. Now, we have seen greater extremes in the past, which of course suggests that we may need to wait a few more weeks, month possibly, to reach those levels if this trend continues. So both of our major tools are pointing downwards, I should say. Now, moving on to our next market, British Pound. Here we have a 29% change in commercials positions, but keep in mind that in currencies, we don't actually see such large changes that often. So I actually think this is a significant change size, although we have seen similar changes in the past, let's say 6 months, a few times. It suggests that we can actually expect the British pound to increase in value the next couple of days. Of course, knowing that the COT change signals are usually effective in the short run. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that we are more or less in between the two extremes. I don't really see anything that exciting here, to be honest. Nothing, compared to what we saw in 2019, a very nice bullish COT Extreme signal, or let's say this bearish COT Extreme from April of 2018. So, those are great examples of that. We are hovering around the zero line, the net zero line. So, nothing exceptionally large here. Another currency, the Mexican peso. Here we have a 23% change in commercials positions. Again, much larger than average. What's the good news here compared to the British pound? This is actually coming after a decline. So I think this signal here may actually be a little bit stronger, just based on the fact that we're getting a signal opposite towards where the market is actually moving. I should mention that I see this 238 report extreme in commercials position. That is a significant extreme. As you may see, we have seen greater extremes. You can go back on this 5 years chart to 2016 to see even greater extremes. What a beautiful extreme, by the way, over there. But it's there. It suggests that we could expect a strengthening of the Mexican peso in the medium to long run. So both of our tools, the COT change analysis and extreme analysis, have concluded that we can expect, both in the near and in the medium to long run, a more stronger Mexican peso, to put it that way. But again, caution is advised. This extreme could widen to even greater levels before the market actually turns back towards the rally mode. I'm not saying it's not the case. You can look at it many different ways. But yeah, that's the picture we're getting. Moving on to large speculators, COT Extreme. We have the Australian dollar on top of our list with an all-time COT Extreme. Of course, we have that here. We've been talking about the Australian dollar the past few weeks. It's just getting larger and larger. It is a bullish COT Extreme. I would assume that most of you have already got that. And it's growing. And as I always said, these extremes, these all-time COT extremes, although look, very unique, and they are, but they could be present in the market for many, many weeks, possibly even 2 month or 3 month before we see the reaction from the market's side. So something we should keep in mind. And of course, never forget, you can go deep into your analysis and see correlations with other markets, commodities for that matter, and then based on all those surveys and analysis, you can decide where or when you would like to enter this market. The Mexican peso we talked about. Cotton will be the next market. Yeah, here we have a 192 report extreme in large speculators and a much greater extreme in commercials, 238 report extreme. And we are not surprised to see a bearish COT extreme happening here as the market goes much, much higher. So this could actually reach an all-time COT extreme at which we can, start positioning ourselves, let's say, to be expecting a top happening. Now, of course, again, don't try to pinpoint that exactly. The COT analysis will definitely not do that for you, but it does show you the level of stress that has built up in this market. Okay, and last but not least, let's move on to a energy heating oil, where we have 154 report extreme in large speculators positions. Okay, so you can always use this tool here, the crosshair, and see that it's roughly going to give us a October 2018 reading, and you can see that we actually moved south from those levels. So that was already a bearish extreme that pushed the market down. This is a bearish extreme, no question about that. Small speculators are also very optimistic. Again, what a good combination. So everything from the extreme analysis is pointing in the direction of lower prices. Okay, so, but again, I could just repeat myself. This does not mean that it's going to happen tomorrow or the day after, but maybe we need to wait a few more weeks. I mean, this is really a compass, I should say, that can signal directions in the market that are, built, based on the stress levels that are being built up week by week as traders are accumulating those positions. Large speculators, of course, adding to the net long and commercials to the net short. This will reach a turning point eventually. And when that happens, of course, you can see very clearly the extreme signal. Like, here we have from 2017, a bullish COT extreme, at that bottom. It's maybe not that easy to see on the chart, but I mean, it was so clear, like commercials going net long, or large speculators net short. So really, it's an amazing tool analyzing this wonderful report that CFTC publishes on a weekly basis. Here at COTBase.com, we offer, I should say, everything basically. All the report types that are available, all the data types. We also construct the options only data, which I think is an amazing thing to do, analyzing just traders who trade options. You can, of course, analyze all sorts of data sets. I only show you a few market categories in these reviews, but you can look at grains, stock indexes, interest rates, and cryptocurrencies as well. And then we have the look back period changing for COT change analysis. If you want to not look at a 52 weeks look back, but a different time horizon, or look at multiple report based on a different look back period, all sorts of ways to really analyze changes in traders' positions. And then, of course, we've got the extreme analysis, which includes COT extremes, which we do analyze, and then the COT index, the COT move index. We're helping you by giving you the long-term trend indicator, so showing you which way the trend is moving. I think that's a useful tool to have. And then volume and open interest analysis, I think, is something very useful too, to supplement the COT data analysis. Of course, you can always go back in time and analyze an older report. And if you're somebody who trades a specific market, you can always go to the left side panel here, choose the market that you want to look, choose the report type, and then go and start digging deep into the data. There's so much data here for those of you who really want to understand each and every detail of the report. We offer all that tool for you. You can open large speculators long, then there you go. You have the chart format, the table format, And I should also show you that we have the COT base Pro indicator, which basically offers everything that we have in the website, but you can use it in your own NinjaTrader platform. If you're somebody who trades in a more shorter time frame, let me just remind you that we came out with this wonderful product not that long ago, after many years of development, and we always wanted to reverse engineer COT data and come up with this indicator that mimics the same, just to show you the example. So as you can see here, we have a chart of Bitcoin, but these are not daily candles, okay? These are 5-minute candles, and still we have that COT chart underneath. It's such a wonderful tool, really. It's an amazing tool for the short-term traders who actually like COT data analysis and understand the value of knowing what traders are doing. So I think this is a fabulous tool for those of you who would like to help them, get some guidance in let's say, trade execution. And by the way, this is available not only in NinjaTrader, but TradingView and CTrader as well. So a lot of things to do here at COT Base. Of course, we are focusing on the COT, the commitments of traders data. I guess that's not surprising. I thank you very much for your attention. I hope you will have a great weekend, and I hope to see you in my next COT review. Take care. Goodbye.